Good afternoon to all of you. Am I audible? Yes, please tell me that if I am audible or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please join meeting fast so that we'll continue our lecture. Join fast so that we will start our lecture. Only 11 participants have joined. We'll wait for a few minutes and thereafter we will start our lecture. Please join fast within 2 to 3 minutes. We are having this lecture from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Only 1 hour we are going to conduct this. Because of that fuel orientation program, I couldn't conduct this lecture in the morning slot. That's why I am conducting this slot at the afternoon. Okay. So please join fast so that we'll start our lecture. Yes. Only 18 students have joined. Total there are more than 130 students. So why so much less absentees today? Why so much less presentees? As your fuel orientation program ends at 1 p.m. Okay, 1 or 2 p.m. I think, and you are given 1 hour break, lunch break. So after that also you are not attending lecture. Only 21 participants have joined. I'm going to take the attendance. Okay, now the strength has increased, so We will start our lecture then. Let me share the screen. Okay, please tell me if visible or not. Is the screen visible? Screen दिसते का? सगळ्यांना स्क्रीन दिसते का? Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Visible? Okay. So in the last lecture we have discussed about the simple present tense. Okay. So simple present tense is used to express habits, general truths, repeated actions, unchanging situations, emotions, and wishes. Okay. Or we can use simple present tense for giving instructions also, for giving directions also. Okay. So generally we use simple present tense for that actions which we perform daily. That is waking up in the morning, okay, then brushing teeth, taking bath, having breakfast, having lunch, having dinner. These are the routine things. And for telling that things, or for expressing that things, we use simple present tense. Okay. So what are the habitual things that we perform daily, that we tell to someone with the help of simple present tense? So as I daily go to college and I daily conduct their lectures, I will use simple present tense for telling my action, or for informing my action to somebody with the help of simple present tense. So I daily conduct lectures in the morning, in the afternoon. Okay. So this is the habitual, or this is the repeated action that I do. That's why I will use simple present tense. Okay. So, or we can say that I regularly, or I watch television while having dinner. Dinner घेताना मी काय करतो तर टीव्ही पाहतो. So for the construction of this sentence, we generally use simple present tense. Okay. So I watch television regularly while having dinner. This is the habitual thing, or this is the repeated thing. I daily do this thing, and that's why I will use simple present tense for indicating this action. Okay. So for instructions and directions also, for instructing somebody, you go to school, you turn left, you turn right, then walk for 100 meters. These are the instructions that we generally give with simple present tense. Okay. By using simple present tense, we generally give instructions, and that's why we use simple present tense for instructions, giving instructions, for giving directions. Okay. So this is another use. Then for fixed arrangements also, your lecture starts at sharp 10 o'clock. If I have to give this instruction to you people, or I have to give this fixed arrangement or I have to express this fixed arrangement with you people, I will use simple present tense. Okay. Then we have discussed about the structure of simple present tense also. So what is the structure of this sentence that we will construct or we will form in the simple present tense? The structure is subject plus first form of verb. Okay, that is V1. And if subject is third person singular, that is if subject is he or she or it, we will add s or es suffix to the main verb. Okay, so and after that we will write object and plus complement. So this is the sentence structure that we will use for the formation of sentence in the simple present tense. We also have discussed about the s and es suffix that we are going to add to the main verb and the conditions for adding s or es suffix, that also we have studied in the last lecture. So the suffix s is added to the main verb when there is the third person singular which comes as an subject in the sentence. Okay, so the third person singular, for the third person singular, the verb always ends in s or es suffix. So for example, he wants, she needs. Okay, then she drinks, she thinks, he gives. These are the verbs, and if we are using them after the third person singular subject, then we have to add s suffix to the main verb. So want becomes wants, need becomes needs, give becomes gives, cut becomes cuts, and think becomes thinks. So add es suffix. For adding the es suffix, there should be the spelling. There is one condition. If the word is ending, that is verb is ending with ws, x, sh, or ch, then we have to add es suffix while using the main verb after the third person singular. Okay, so this is the condition. If the verb is ending in ws, x, sh, or ch, we have to add es suffix to the verb when we are using it after the he, she, or it, that is third person singular. So he passes, he, she catches, he fixes, it pushes. These suffix es will add after the verbs. And the third condition that we discussed was the verbs ending in y. So if the verbs are ending in y, then for using these verbs after the third person singular, the y will become ies. Okay, we have to add ies suffix instead of y. Okay, so fly becomes flies, fly becomes flies, that is flies. Cry will become cries, cry, it becomes cries, cries. Okay, so try. Okay, try will also become tries, or pray become no, pray will not become. Only these are the examples. Okay, fly, cry, try. Okay, and there is exception for this condition also. For this rule, there is exception. Okay, so if, what is the exception then? If the verb is having a vowel before y. Okay, so if there is a vowel which comes before the y in the verb, then we will just add s as a suffix. Okay, so if play is the verb, in this verb a is the vowel which comes before y. Okay, a is the vowel which has come before y, and that's why we will add s. Only s suffix we will add as it is. We are not going to add ies suffix. Why? Because there comes a vowel sound before y. Okay, so play is the example in which a is the vowel which comes before the ending alphabet, that is y, and that's why we will add only s as a suffix to the verb. So play becomes plays, pray becomes praise, and say becomes says. Okay, so these are the some rules of adding yes or es suffix to the main verb. So is it understood? समजले का हे रूल? हे रूल समजले? पुढे जायचं का आपण? Yes, no one is answering. Just a second. Okay. So yes, so these are the rules that we have discussed in the last lecture. We also have discussed the simple present tense of to be, to have, and to do. Okay, so for I, we will use am as a to be verb. I am. And have as a have form of verb, and do as a do form of verb. So I am a teacher, I am a student, I have a car, I have a bike, I have a scooter, and I do study. Okay, I do study at the morning, I do breakfast in the morning. Okay, so for you, we will use are, you are, you have, you do. Okay, for he, she, it, we will use he is, she is, it is. And have form of verb that we will use for he, she, it is he has, she has, it has. Okay, and do form that we use after he, she, it is does. Okay, so he does, she does, it does. These are the forms. Then for you, for we will use we are, we have, we do. For you, we will use you are, you have, you do. And for they, we'll use they are, they have, and they do. Okay, so this chart you will have to remember. So we have discussed up to this chart. So today we are going to discuss about the three forms of the sentence. Okay, so how many types of sentences are there? There are different types of sentences, that is assertive, affirmative, negative, interrogative, exclamatory. But we are going to discuss about only three types, that is affirmative, interrogative, and negative. Okay, so if I think is affirmative sentence, then its negative sentence will be I do not think. Okay, because do not, this is the form of do that we will use after I. Okay, so if I think is the affirmative form, then its negative form will be I do not think, and its interrogative form will be do I think. Okay, so with uh, auxiliary verb or with uh, uh, helping verb, we generally ask question with starting with the helping verb. Okay, so do I think, that we will use. I think is the affirmative, its negative is I do not think, and its interrogative is do I think. The next is you think. If you think is the affirmative, its negative will be you do not think. Okay, we will use do after you. Okay, we only use does after he, she, or it. Okay, so keep this in mind. Remember this point. So you think is the affirmative, then its negative is you do not think, and its interrogative is do you think. Then if he thinks is the affirmative, he thinks, we will use a s suffix. Okay, after the verb we will add s suffix to the verb. Why we are going to add this s suffix? Because we are using this verb after he or she or it. Okay, so he, she, it, we have to add s suffix to the verb before using those verb after the he, she, it. So he thinks is the affirmative, its negative will be he does not think. Okay, he does not think, we will use does after he, she, and it. Okay, so he thinks is the affirmative, its negative is he does not think, and its interrogative is does he think. We have to ask this question. The next is she thinks. So same case we'll use here for she. So she thinks is the affirmative, its negative is she does not think. She does not think, and its interrogative is does she think. So these are the three forms in which we will form different types of sentences. For it also we will use does after uh, uh, in the while doing negative or while doing interrogative. Okay, So it thinks is a, if this it thinks is the affirmative, then its negative is it does not think. Okay, its negative is it does not think, and its interrogative will be does it think. So these are the three forms, or these are the three types of sentences which we will convert uh, in the three types. Okay, so she thinks, she does not think, and does she think. Then it thinks, it does not think, and does it think, that will form. Then we think, if we are using we as a subject, then we will use the first form of verb, that is V1, that is think. And as we is not a third person singular, it is second person plural, we can say that, but it is not a third person singular, and that's why we will use do after the we. Okay, so if we think is the affirmative, its negative will be we do not think. Okay, we think, we do not think, and its interrogative will be do we think. In this way we have done this. Then there comes they. If they is the pronoun, then in front of they we will use first form of verb, that is V1, without s or es. Okay, because they is the third person plural. Okay, so if they think is the affirmative, its negative will be they do not think, or they don't think, and its interrogative is do they think. So these are the three forms, that is affirmative, interrogative, and negative sentences. Okay, so let's do some exercise. Please answer to the question so that we'll go further. So we are going to do this exercise here itself. This is the exercise which is the which is based on the simple present tense. Okay, so the first sentence is I usually dash dash into bracket go to the school. What type of form of the verb, that is go, we will use here? We'll use here only V1. Okay, that is present form. And what is the present form of go? It is go itself. Okay, so I usually go to the school. Okay, I usually go to the school. This is the first exercise, first sentence of the exercise. Take the second sentence. Cats dash dash into bracket like to sleep. So what will be the form of like that suits for this example? Cats dash dash in bracket like to sleep. What will come here? Yes, this is the basic grammar we are learning. We haven't yet gone to the complex grammar. Cats dash dash like to sleep. What type of form of like we are going to use here? Yes, Please answer. Cats dash dash like to sleep. If you don't want to talk, you can chat also. So you can give the message in the message box also. What form of like we will use here? Cats dash dash like to sleep. Yes. Anybody? We will use here like as it is. Okay. Why? Because cats is the plural. Okay. And that's why we'll use like. If the subject is plural, then we will use singular verb in the sentence. So cats like to sleep. Here we have used like as a correct form of verb in this example. Cats like to sleep. मांजराला काय होतं? झोपायला आवडतं, झोप आवडते. Okay. Then third example, you dash dash in bracket be a smart boy. So what correct form of to be, what correct verb of to be we will use here at this blank place? Tell me. Yes, you into bracket there is be. So what verb of to be we will use here in this blank space? Are. We will use here are. Okay. You are a smart boy. Okay. You are a smart boy. So are is the verb of to be. Okay. Am is are is the verb of to be. Okay. Am is are, was, were. These are the verbs of to be form. So you are a smart boy. You will use here are as a form of to be. Keep in mind, if you want to write it in your notebook, then also you can write it. Then the fourth sentence, see the fourth sentence. He dash dash have many friends. He dash dash have many friends. Which to have verb we will use here? Which type of have verb we will use here? He dash dash into bracket have many friends. So in front of he, she, it, what we generally do, which auxiliary verb, which supporting verb of have form we generally use after he, she, it? After he, she ate, we generally use has. Okay, has as a to have form. We use after he, she, or it. Okay, so remember this also. Keep in mind, he has many friends. Has is the form of have that we will use after he or she or it. So he has many friends. Then the fifth example is we dash have some money. So we dash dash have some money. What form of have we will use here? We'll use here in this example have as it is. Okay, we have some money. आमच्याकडे काही पैसे आहेत. We have some money. Then sixth example, they dash dash not work for us. So what type of to-do form we'll use here? They dash dash not work for us. So we will use here they do not work for us. Okay, so do is the form that we'll use after the third person plural, that is they. So they do not work for us. Then see the seventh sentence. You into bracket, you dash dash have, you into bracket play basketball once a week. So playing a basketball is the daily habit. Okay, so for describing a daily habit or repeated action, we use the first form of verb. Okay, so you play basketball once a week. You play a basketball once a week. So the first form of verb, you play, that we use here. Then see the eighth example. She dash dash into bracket help the kids of all the neighbors. She dash dash in bracket play. No, we are discussing about the eighth sentence. Huh? Yes. So eighth sentence is she dash dash in bracket help the kids of the neighborhood. So we will use here she helps. We'll add yes suffix after the main verb, that is help. Okay, so she helps the kids of neighborhood. She helps the kids of neighborhood. You see the ninth example. So ninth sentence that we will discuss is I dash dash in bracket bake cookies twice a month. I bake cookies twice a month. महिन्यातून 2 वेळा मी काय करतो, कुकीज बेक करतो, बिस्किट बेक करतो. ओके, सो I bake cookies twice a month. So we will use bake as it is because I is the first person singular, and for the first person singular we have generally used before also the verb as it is without adding yes or es suffix. Okay, so I bake cookies twice a month. And the 10th example that we are going to discuss is water dash dash in bracket boil at 100 degrees. पाणी 100 अंश तापमानाला काय करतं, तापतं. Water boils. Okay, water boils at 100 degrees. 100 अंश तापमानाला पाणी काय होतं, तापतं. So these are the simple present tense exercise that we have discussed in today's lecture. Okay, so I usually go to school. Then second is cats dash dash like to sleep. So cats like to sleep. We have used here like as it is. Okay, because cats means there are many cats, and for animals we generally use it. Okay, and that's why there comes yes and es suffix after the verb. Okay, so cats like to sleep. Then you are a smart boy. You are a smart boy. Then he has many friends. त्याला भरपूर मित्र आहेत. He has many friends. Then we have some money. आमच्याकडे थोडे पैसे आहेत. We have some money. Then there dash dash not for us. So they do not work for us. Do not will be the verb that they have used here. Then we also have seen that he has many friends. We have some money. They do not work for us. You play basketball once a week. These are the instructions. You play basketball once a week. And she helps the kids of the neighborhood. And the 10th sentence, the 8th sentence, that 9th sentence, that is, I bake cookies twice a month. Here we will use bake as it is because we are going to use it after the verb. Okay, we are going to use this as a verb. I bake cookies twice a month. Then water boils at 100 degrees. So पाणी 100 अंश तापमानाला तापतं. Okay, so this is the exercise that we have discussed for today's lecture. Then see the next tense that we are going to see is simple past tense. Okay, so today we are going to start with the simple past tense. So what is the simple past? The simple past is the basic form of past tense in English. So it is very basic form of past tense that we have used in this for this information. The simple past is the basic form of past tense in English. The time of action can be in the recent past or the distant past. And action duration is not important. So what is the simple past tense? Simple past tense is basic form of past tense in English that we use for the actions that has happened in the recent past or distant past. Okay. So in the simple past tense, we give information of the past past tense, okay, past actions that we have done in the past, that is the recent past or the distant past. So what is the difference between recent and distant? Recent past means what? That actions we have performed before some minutes, okay, before 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or before half an hour, okay. So these are the actions. We denote them with the recent past because they have happened before recent. They have happened recently, okay. That's why they are called as recent past. And the distant past are the action, distant past actions are the actions that has happened before millions of the years, okay, or before lakhs of the years, okay, or before thousands of the years, and that comes under the distant past, म्हणजे जरा दूरचा भूतकाळ, ओके, भरपूर मागचा भूतकाळ. And action duration is not important. And in the simple past tense, action duration, okay, action duration is not important. Action duration is subsidiary, okay, we don't consider it. So this is the simple past tense. Simple past is basic form of past tense in English. The time of action can be in the recent past or the distant past. Means एखादी क्रिया अगदी काही मिनिटापूर्वी, काही तासापूर्वी घडलेली आहे, तिला काय म्हणतात तर रिसेंट पास्ट. And that action which has happened before lakhs of years, thousands of years, before millions of years, that actions comes under the distant past. That is, for example, the action of vanishing of dinosaurs, okay, dinosaurs are vanished before millions of the years, lakhs of the years, okay, and we can find only their skeletons, okay. So they are not the living creatures at this moment, and they have destroyed or they have vanished before lakhs of years ago, okay. And that past is noted or that past is known as the distant past. खूप लांबचा भूतकाळ आहे, खूप दूरचा भूतकाळ असेल तर त्याला काय म्हणतात, distant past. And recent past is the action that has happened before some time, some minutes, some hours. So this is the difference between the recent past and the distant past, okay. So simple past tense is used. So in which conditions, what are the conditions to use this simple past tense? Let's see them. to talk about a completed action in a time before now. So if we want to talk about completed action, okay, we want to talk about completed action in a time before now, means the time before now, काही क्षणापूर्वीच घडून गेलेली आहे क्रिया, before some seconds or before some minutes, okay, the action has completed, okay. So that action which has completed before some minutes or before some hours, okay, that actions come under the recent past, okay. So to talk about a completed action in a time before now, okay. So the simple past tense, we use it for to talk about a completed action. For talking about completed action, we use simple past tense. The examples that we will discuss, we are going to discuss are, let's see the examples. They sailed to America in 1498. So this action has happened before 5 centuries, okay. Before 500 years, this action has happened. So this is not a distant past, okay. Or we can say that this is distant past because the actions that has recently happened, that we will call it as recent past. So this action is distant past. 500 वर्षापूर्वी ऍक्शन घडलेली आहे. सो दे सेल्ड. सेल मीन्स व्हॉट, तर नावेनं प्रवास करणे, समुद्र प्रवास करणे, त्याला म्हणतात सेल, ओके. दे सेल्ड to America in 1498. In the 1498, those people sailed to America. Okay, so they sailed to America in 1498. Then second example is my father died last year. So that action has happened in the last year, before an year. Okay, and that's why we will use simple past tense. Okay, my father died last year. And third example is we lived in a Mumbai in 1976. So in the 1976 means that this past is not that much distant. This is the recent past. This action has happened before some decades. So we will use simple past tense. He lived in Mumbai in 1976. 1976 साली तो मुंबईत राहिला होता. Okay. Then we crossed the channel yesterday. We crossed the canal yesterday. So this action has happened before some time, before 24 hours. That's why we use past tense, that is simple past tense. We crossed the canal yesterday. Okay. So this we have discussed up to the simple past tense in this lecture. So only 5 minutes has left for this lecture. So let me first mark your attendance and then we will stop. Okay. So don't leave this meeting up to marking your attendance. Let me mark your attendance first. Or you can comment in the message box also, but don't leave meeting. Okay, you can comment your roll number in the message box, but don't leave meeting up till I mark your attendance. हो. हा नाही 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 जायचा. मी बोललेलं ऐकू यायचं. काय माहिती आहे. तुमचा आवाज आहे मोठा, माझा नसला ऐकू येत तुम्हाला. ओके. Wait, I'm going to mark your attendance. B19, B19, B27. TY26 अविनाश जाधव कोण आहे? अविनाश जाधव.
यस सर.
हा, तुम्ही ए डिव्हिजन मध्ये का बी?
ए डिव्हिजन.
तुमचं मग ते ए काय येत नाही, TYA26 किंवा TA असं काही येत नाही.
माहित नाही सर, ए डिव्हिजन मध्ये.
कारण की मग मला मार्क करायला अवघड जातं ना, तुम्ही ए मध्ये का बी मध्ये, TY26 वरून कसं ओळखणार मी?
ए डिव्हिजन मध्ये.
हा, ए डिव्हिजन मध्ये आहे, पण तुमचं जे ए आहे ते मेल आयडी वगैरे असेल तुमचं,
हा चेंज.
हा तो चेंज करा आणि TYA असं टाका. ओके, ठीक आहे. तर मग ओके, तुमचा रोल नंबर कमेंट करा मेसेज बॉक्स मध्ये, आणि कमेंट केलेले आहेतच 60 चॅट आलेले आहेत, 60 कमेंट. सो before leaving this meeting, comment your roll number and you can leave this meeting. Okay, so thank you for joining this meeting, thank you for joining this lecture. You can leave this meeting now.
करंजा द्यायचे नाही करंजी संपली सरक बघू दे ह्याला आहे डब्याला काढ द्या त्यात साखर आहे 10 त्याच्यात काढ दो चेष्टा करून काढ लवकर हे बघ खून बह गया ते काढ काय